All right, it's time for your Week 14. Know your enemy. It's Giants Eagles in a must-win divisional game for Big Blue. Giants fans, you know everything about the Eagles. But Barrett Brooks is a former Eagle, a Super Bowl champ, and an NBC Sports Philly analyst, and is here to talk Fly Eagles Fly versus the G-Man. I'm going to be honest with you. First and foremost, thanks for joining us. I hate that song after they score, that Fly Eagles Fly. So let's break this thing down because I'm not trying to hear it on Sunday at MetLife Stadium. But
I love it.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off by breaking down the quarterback play by both of these quarterbacks heading into this game.
Okay, that's right. You said Daniel Jones, he is a quarterback. That's right, he is a quarterback. Okay.
Come on, since you got Jalen Hurts balling right now, back-to-back NFC Offensive Player of the Week, could you think, or do you think this will be another statement game for Jalen?
Absolutely. In fact, in all honesty, the worst game he's played in his career, last game that he played up in MetLife Stadium was his worst game. He was up there. He threw a pick going into halftime. He didn't play well that game, so I think he has a little bit to prove against this Giants team. We split with him last year, and like it or not, man, at this point, Brian Dable has this team playing at a high level. I did not think they were going to play as good as they're playing right now, but they've got Daniel Jones going in the right direction. He's playing consistent, but I tell you what, Jalen Hurts is playing at an MVP level. People are saying, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's got it locked up. You got to give this young man some type of, hype about what he's doing, to go in and run for 150 yards and have over 350 yards offense and then turn right back around after running for 150 yards the next game. He throws for over 380 yards. It's like pick your poison as a defense. What are you going to stop? You're going to stop his running game or are you going to stop his passing game? And, oh, by the way, he has some pretty good targets to go to outside of that also.
Yeah, he's doing a great job getting the ball to his weapons. A.J. Brown, big plays. Devontae Smith, big plays. I mean, he's got weapons to go around. And I was one of those people, I just want to go on record right now. I did hate on him coming out of college. He's now shut me up. But it's going to be a dogfight between these two teams. And
absolutely,
like
absolutely.
He's going to have to reprove himself at MetLife after last year's performance. So let's talk about this Eagles defense because, I mean, the game is won in the trenches, as you know.
Absolutely.
Eagles defense, how do they match up against this Giants offense?
Well, I think they match up well. I mean, I don't think Leonard Williams is playing, and I think that kind of bowls well into this offensive line of the Eagles. I mean, to me, they're the best offensive line in the league. I think they've proven it. Doing whatever you need to do to win the game, they've done it. If they want to run the ball for 200 yards, they can do that. If they want to pass for 300 yards, they can do that. I think that, you got some great guys up front, especially young guys. Kayvon Thibodeau is really coming to his own. I thought he was going to be too small, too slight to be an impact type of player, but he is definitely making it happen. And I think it all has to do with Wink Martindale. He plays a front that you don't know where guys are coming from. So this Eagles offensive line, they definitely have to focus on where guys are coming from, know the number count, know where the mic is so they can get things situated on who's coming because he probably blitzes over 60% of the time. So they have to be on their P's and Q's as far as being assignment correct and making sure they can protect the quarterback and open up rush lanes for Miles Sanders.
All right, let's flip it. Talk about the Eagles' defensive line. How do they match up against the Giants' O-line?
See, that's where I think, we're at a point where, we're still trying to prove if we can stop the run. And we all know that this offense of the Giants runs through Saquon Barkley. I don't know. I mean, they stopped King Henry last week. They held him to 30 yards. But can they do to somebody as versatile as Saquon Barkley? Saquon is a jack of all trades. He can do it all. He can catch out the backfield. He can run in between the tackles. He can take it to the outside. He does everything well. And when you have guys that, haven't been able to stop the run, but a couple of times this year, we're still, the jury still need to be set on what they are. They went out, got Ndamukong Suh, Linville Joseph to stop the run in the middle. Big Davis comes in, the rookie Big Davis comes back to kind of clog up the middle. It's imperative that they stop the running game against that offensive line. And I love your tackles. You have two of the best tackles in the league with Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas. Those two young guys, that's the young tandem, that might be the new bookends in the NFL. They're both playing very, very well. And as soon as Neal got back, that's when the offense started rolling again.
I love that humble approach that you come on here with still trying to find yourselves after holding Derrick Henry to 30 yards. Pump your brakes, bro. We know that Eagles defensive line is real. But before I move on, we start talking about the coaching. James Bradberry, familiar face around here at East Rutherford. How's he playing for you guys, and what has he brought to that defense?
Well, nobody caught a ball on him last week, and I understand, what went on. They run the ball. The Titans run the ball. But when you talk about Slay and Bradberry, they are the best tandem in the NFL right now. And then you've add, Avonte Maddox, who might be back this week. I know they're the best trio as far as, cornerbacks in the league. It's hard to really it's hard for our defensive coordinator Gannon to really put them in a bad position with the way these athletes are. I mean, even if he has them in off covers, these two, cornerbacks can play up tight whenever they want to, and they have the autonomy to do that. And if they see something, they react on it. That's where these two play the best because they've been around. They know these teams' system. They've played against these teams before. They have gone out and played against the best in the business and shut them down. I mean, the way Slay played Jeffrey and totally took him out of the game in week 2 just to show how good he is. Both of them will probably be Pro Bowlers this year. And I tell you what, I don't know what you guys think about letting Bradberry go. He is playing an all-star level. They even have him in man-to-man. He's more of a zone corner who reads things and reacts things, a big corner. But he's played phenomenally for this Eagles team.
Yeah, targeted 72 times, only give up 32 completions. And when you say you don't know what we're thinking about letting him go, it's like when you're at the store and you really want this, like a nice something, but you ain't had no money. You had to give it up, had to put it back on the shelf.
Right.
Or you had to trade it out. All right, last but not least, this one's got to be quick. Which coach, because we're talking about 2 coaches, that could be up for Coach of the Year. Which coach has to be more aggressive in their decision-making and in-game approach? Real quick, why? Who and why?
It had to be Sirianni because, the expectations of him are so high that he has to go out there. And it's almost like Super Bowl or bust for him. Ryan Dable's been on, borrowed time, and he's went out there and executed a team that, they're over 500. So at this point, you got to put it in his court as far as being the premier coach in the league because he took a lot of nothing and made it into something.
Barrett Brooks, we thank you for joining us, and we thank you for the humble approach, the civil approach on this week's Know Your Enemy.
But you know what? Hey, man, I collected a check from the Giants, too. I played 1 year with them also, man. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Those John Mara checks go far, man. I love it.
Oh, yeah.